Hi. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about collecting your life force. That's the concept. And I saw this in a Netflix show where a therapist is talking about solutions to depression and how you can. It's called Stutz, by the way. You should check it out. It's an interview with a therapist. But yeah. So the thing that he talks about is this idea of collecting your life force and using it in the case of where people are depressed or don't know which direction they want to bring their life in. And I thought it was a really great labeling and framework for thinking about things because essentially collecting your life force is defined as body, people, like your relationships, and then your relationship with yourself. And that those three things come together as like the fundamental building blocks for collecting your life force. I agree that the concept of collecting your life force is fundamental to really honing where you are, and that's going to give you a lot of sense of direction. But I think there is a few things that are missing from that framework, and I want to talk to you about those and how you collect yourself, how you can build yourself so you can feel a lot more stronger, and then you can move forward in life and feel like you have a direction to go in, or at least you have some clarity. And if you don't, at least you're feeling good, right? Taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health, and developing and building relationships, all of those are going to help you, right? So let's dig into that. And if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Ashley Adamson. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of these personal growth, personal transformation type videos. So collecting your life force. This is this higher level concept is kind of like pulling it in, that feeling of allowing your awareness to come back to you rather than spreading and dispersing your awareness, your thoughts, your sense of where you are to your anxiety, to things that you're thinking about around the world, and to think about others rather than thinking about yourself. This is not about being greedy with your energy or being greedy with your time or how you think, but it's about bringing your awareness and consciousness back into yourself so that you can save your energy, conserve it, and then spend it in a way that's more sustainable for yourself. This is something that I am actually going through right now, which is why it's incredibly relevant to me and why I think it's important to talk about how you collect your life force and how you spend it. Because you spend your life force on many things, right? Like you spend it on the things that you're afraid of. You spend it on the things that you want to do. You spend it on your time that you have with other people. If you do spend time with other people, you spend your life force on scrolling through social media, on watching videos online. Like there's many, many things. And how do you want to spend your life force? How are you spending your life force? Like where do you put your attention? Do you put your attention a lot on social media? Do you put your attention a lot on email? Are you daydreaming? Where is that attention? This is such an important concept, and I think something that may be a little bit missing from the framework that Stutz provides, which is he's talking about your body. You got to take care of your body. Like think exercise, like that's super important for collecting your life force. And then also relationships, like that is also important. Relationships bring you back into the world, as he says. And then this third thing of relationship with yourself, this is like how you interact, right? Like the self-talk, the self-positivity or self-negativity, the self-defeatist talk. All of these things are very important in this hierarchy. But like if you're trying to take it on a more subtle level, thinking about where your attention is going to affect your body. It's going to affect your brain, which then ultimately affects your relationship with yourself, your perception of yourself, your perception of the world, and also that then kind of like trickles down into your relationships and your perception of your relationships. Let's take an extreme example just to give you a more concrete thing. So imagine you are spending all your time on social media, let's say TikTok, which is probably the worst, right? You're on TikTok, you're scrolling, and you've now become stuck in a dopamine cycle where TikTok has roped you into this addiction mechanism that they have, where they will show you content that's really compelling, they show you some content that's not compelling, and then they show you something that is really compelling. That's called a variables reward system, which is the most addictive kind of system. It's a gambling machine kind of system, and it's going to get you hooked. So your brain is going to be looking for dopamine releases. It's going to start getting programmed and reprogrammed by TikTok to want to get these kind of dopamine hits. And then the content itself, if you're focusing on like super sexual content or like just like super political content, your brain, your background processing, all of this is really going to start building on you in a way that's not actually going to be helping you move forward, right? Like, do you think that if you're programming your subconscious with hot girls dancing or just a lot of political BS, that's going to make your body feel better, that's going to make your mind feel clearer? Like, what is going to make your mind feel clearer? What is going to make your body feel clearer? And of course, abstination is the extreme case, an extreme example of how you potentially move away from this. But I don't think that's realistic. And I don't want to spend all of my energy not being at all in social media or not enjoying and learning and growing. I like YouTube. It's a much more educational space. So like, you have to kind of monitor and control your attention if we are to approach from this angle of how we take care of ourselves and how we look at things. And so I want to kind of raise this for you in your awareness and your consciousness. Where are you putting your attention? What are you spending your attention on? And are you spending too much time giving your attention to things that don't matter to you or don't actually fulfill you, or take care of you and your mind? This is the most important part and the thing that I want to raise for you. So a really great way and a really great method that I have used to reduce my attention spent on things that are not good, if we are to approach this, I leave my phone off for most of the morning until I'm done with my work around 12 or 1 p.m. And then, I would move on to my other work, but right now I'm not doing that. But I try to keep it on airplane mode or off so that way notifications and distractions don't happen. And I only break for YouTube, which is my social media consumption, when I'm eating for lunch or when it's nighttime and it's time to kind of wind down and start thinking about other things. But I try not to do any of that in the middle of the day. And I try not to itch that piece of my consciousness that wants to just seek out and get something that's interesting in the way. Like controlling your social media habits is a great way of reining in your attention, and also like your mobile device in general, because you're getting text messages and notifications where it's your attention on demand. It's demanding your attention, and it's kind of masked. The phone is masking its demand of attention of you through someone else. It's kind of like it's being used as a proxy, but the phone is the thing that's driving your attention, and the idea that there's a person on the other end is the thing that keeps pulling you back in. So it's like, you want to take a step away, or at least this is how I approach it. You want to take a step away from how you consume and how often you allow this device to dictate your consumption patterns. Like, would you rather have a life where the phone has control over you, or that you have control over the phone, right? You probably want to have control over the phone rather than the other way around. But this can take time and it can take effort. I've noticed that once I started consuming regularly with my phone, it became a lot harder for me to not pick up my phone. And I still do, because that subconscious pattern of, let me just pick it up and just get a little dopamine fix and then put it down, that happens hundreds of times a day, probably for every single person. I mean, we spend like hours and hours on our phone every single day. So if you can like decondition and like create a little bit more self-control, that's going to really help your subconscious. It looks like we've just talked about attention. I think there's many other topics that I can cover, but I think we'll close it here for now. I would love for you to just kind of give you a quick meditation as a bonus piece to give you a sense of attention and what to think of it. So please close your eyes for a second. We're going to do this just for a few minutes. See what's going on. Check in, see where your mind's at, what you're thinking. Is there any background processing that's happening? Is there anything else that's on your mind that keeps calling your attention? Yeah, so just observe. You don't need to interact with it. You don't need to tell it to go away. Just observe that it's there. And Also, take a look to see if there's anything that's ticking in the background, anything that's trying to get your attention, trying to stimulate you or draw you into something. And just notice that. So this is you just noticing where your attention is, where it's going. And take a second to breathe in. And when you breathe in, just pull in your awareness and your attention into the center of your head. And hold it there and breathe out. And do it one more time. Breathe it in. And breathe out. Now, if we really want to get funky, I suppose we can do this, is we're going to do a third breath in. And when we do the breath in, we're going to bring it into your head. And then when we breathe out, we're going to move it down to the bottom at the base of your spine. Are you ready? So breathe in your attention. And then move it down to the base of your spine. Imagine it going down your neck, down your back, and then down to the base. And then breathe out and push that energy there. And now imagine the opening at the bottom of your spine going straight into the earth and anchoring into the earth, connecting with the earth. And now the grounding force and energy coming up from the earth, up your spine, all the way up to your forehead where you were collecting energy, and then clearing out any blockages, any static, anything that's distracting you. And just take that in for a second. Thank you for joining me today. It's been lovely to see you. I hope to see you in another episode soon. Bye-bye.